Shocking revelation. Imagine 2.1 million fans rocking out at Lady Gaga's epic Rio concert. Then learning a bomb plot nearly turned it into a nightmare. Welcome to Focal Point, where we dive into the jaw-dropping news that Brazilian police thwarted a terrifying attack planned for Gaga's historic show on Copacabana Beach. Stick with us as we unpack this chilling story. On Saturday night, Rio de Janeiro's iconic Copacabana Beach was electric, hosting over 2.1 million fans for Lady Gaga's free concert. A record-breaking spectacle dubbed historic for its massive turnout. But behind the music and celebration, a sinister plot was brewing. According to Reuters, Brazilian authorities uncovered a scheme to unleash chaos with improvised explosives and Molotov cocktails, targeting the very heart of this joyous event. The civil police of Rio de Janeiro, working hand in hand with the Justice Ministry, acted swiftly to stop the attack before it could unfold. The culprits? A group accused of spreading hate speech and radicalizing teenagers, luring them with violent ideologies and even promoting self-harm. Their twisted mission was to orchestrate coordinated attacks, exploiting the massive crowd for maximum devastation. Most shocking of all, the suspects allegedly posed as little monsters, Lady Gaga's global fan base, to blend in and recruit participants, including minors, for their deadly plan. Imagine the betrayal felt by fans who rallied under Gaga's message of love and inclusion, only to learn of this dark deception. Brazilian police revealed that the group used promises of social belonging to manipulate vulnerable teens, pushing them toward extremism. This wasn't just an attack on a concert, it was an assault on the spirit of unity that events like these embody. Thanks to the vigilance of law enforcement, the plot was dismantled, sparing millions from what could have been a catastrophic tragedy. This story hits hard, not just because of the scale of the event, but because it reminds us how even moments of joy can be targeted. Lady Gaga's Copacabana concert was a celebration of music, freedom, and connection, yet it nearly became a stage for violence. Here at Focal Point, we're committed to keeping you informed on stories that matter. What do you think about this close call? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for the latest breaking news. Open to residents from both sides without immigration checks. Now, Canadians need to go through border control to visit. It's a small change with big symbolic weight, and it's got people wondering, what's next? Trump's rhetoric has also gotten bolder. He's mused about Canada's vast natural resources. Think rare earth metals, gold, oil, coal, lumber, and even fresh water. Some speculate he sees Canada as a treasure chest to boost U.S. power. But here's the kicker. Trump himself has said, we don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We have more than they do. So if it's not about resources, what's driving this? To get to the heart of Trump's Canada fixation, we need to zoom out. According to John Bolton, Trump's former national security advisor, the president tends to latch onto ideas without a clear, cohesive strategy. Things get into his head, Bolton said, and Canada seems to be one of those things. But there's more to it than just a whim. Experts like Michael Williams, a professor at the University of Canada, argue that Trump's approach reflects a 19th century mindset. Back then, nations expanded their territory to secure power, often by annexing neighbors. Williams suggests Trump sees the U.S. as one of many global powers, not the sole superpower it was during the Cold War. In this view, controlling your immediate region, like Canada, gives you a stronger base to compete with giants like China and Russia. Trump's team seems to back this up. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has called the U.S.'s Cold War dominance a weird quirk and argued for a world where the U.S. is one of many powers. Securing Canada, with its Arctic border and vast resources, could be a step toward that goal. The Arctic, by the way, is becoming a hotspot as global warming opens up new shipping routes and resource opportunities. Canada's northern frontier could be a geopolitical goldmine. But here's where it gets tricky. Combining the U.S. and Canada would create a mega nation, doubling the U.S.'s size and making it larger than Russia and twice the size of China. That kind of expansion would spook not just Canadians, but the entire world. China and Russia would see it as a direct threat, and allies like Europe might question America's intentions. So is Trump really serious about this, or is it all bluster? Canadians, for their part, are not having it. When asked about becoming part of the U.S., the responses range from polite no's to flat out not a chance. Canada's new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has been crystal clear. America is not Canada, and Canada will never be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Carney has accused the U.S. of eyeing Canada's resources, water, and land, and he's vowed to protect Canadian sovereignty. The tariffs and border changes have already sparked action. Canadians are boycotting U.S. products and canceling vacations south of the border. The trust that defined the U.S.-Canada relationship for over a century is fraying. Carney has hinted at a new kind of partnership, one focused on economic and security ties but on Canada's terms. And it's not just Canada. Trump's territorial ambitions extend beyond the Great White North. He's talked about acquiring Greenland and even the Panama Canal, though he's ruled out using military force. Instead, he's hinted at economic force to influence Canada, which could mean more tariffs or trade pressure. This approach is raising eyebrows globally, especially since the U.S. has long opposed territorial grabs, like Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, Trump's own rhetoric about redrawing borders is making people question America's stance. So what's the likelihood of Canada becoming part of the U.S.? Honestly, it's slim. Redrawing borders in the 21st century is a logistical and diplomatic nightmare. Canada is a sovereign nation with a strong military, economy, and global alliances. An outright takeover would be political suicide for Trump, and he's ruled out using force. Plus, the international backlash would be massive. Think sanctions, trade wars, and a diplomatic deep freeze. That said, Trump's fixation isn't just hot air. His actions, like tariffs and border restrictions, are real and have real consequences. They're straining a vital relationship and forcing Canada to rethink its reliance on the U.S. Some speculate Trump's goal isn't annexation, but leverage, using economic pressure to extract concessions, like better trade deals or access to resources. There's also the legacy angle. Expanding U.S. territory would be a historic feat, a geographic monument to Trump's presidency. Imagine future generations looking at a map and saying, Trump made that happen. It's the kind of bold, legacy-defining move that fits his brand. But at what cost? As of now, the U.S.-Canada relationship is at a crossroads. Trust is damaged, and both sides are digging in. Canada's preparing for a tougher stance, while Trump seems unlikely to back off his rhetoric. The world is watching, and the stakes are high. A misstep could ripple across global trade, security, and geopolitics. So what do you think? Is Trump serious about making Canada a U.S. state, or is this just a negotiating tactic? Could the U.S. and Canada find a new way to work together, or are we headed for more tension? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. That's it for today's deep dive. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Focal Point.